Hello, everybody. Let's see. I think last week we did diagonal flying. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we'll practice up to there first, and then I'll watch you do something in the second section. Okay. Prepare. Opening. Grasping the bird's tail. Word off left. Word off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Raise hands and step forward. White crane. Spreads wings. Left knee brush. And push. Hand strums the lute. Left knee brush. And push. Right knee brush. And push. Left knee brush. And push. Hand strums the lute. Left knee brush. And push. Parry block and punch. I'm sorry. Okay, closing up. Cross hands. Embrace the tiger. Return to mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. Step back. Repulse monkey. Shoot. Three. Diagonal flying. Okay. Okay, so that's a little bit of a warm up. Let's do some more review of something in the first section. And what would that be? What would you guys like to look at? What have we done so far? I think we've done, did we do white crane or something?
Before the white crane, is this a shoulder strike?
Okay. All right. So yes, in the application for white crane is a shoulder strike is the first thing. So in other styles, in Chengfu, they call shoulder strike or shoulder stroke. So here, and we circle down and close our arm to the step and then shift over. This is a shoulder strike, and then we spread our wings. But in our style, we don't call it out, but we want to show basically it. So we show it by you close your arms and you step and then you shift over and turn, and that's showing it. But we don't go. I think in Chengfu maybe they show it. They call it out anyway as a name, as a separate name. So we have the same form really, but when you do white crane though, we do our white crane like this. I'll do it this direction. We pull down, we close our arms and step, just pick up our foot and turn 45 degrees. We turn over, and now for the right hand, it goes up. It just goes up, okay? Up and turn to face out. It doesn't, at the end of the form, we swing it around, we punch with it and open it, okay? But for our style, it's just up and down. And so that has an application too. Somebody comes to grab you like this, and you go, and you put one hand on top of one arm and the other under the other arm, and you just go, and separate. Then they end up like this, okay? Or whatever, like this, okay? So it's just like grabbing them, kind of pull their arms apart. Mainly just separate their arms. Okay, so that's the main application. So there is the other, in the transition, there is that other application where you could strike them with the shoulder. And I think there's a video of Grandmaster Yang Shadua, or at least there's his book. And he says that's all part of this. This is like you go to hit them in the elbow, raise hands, and then they like go, so that you can't break their elbow. And then you go and you pull down, and now they're like this, okay? Because you pulled them. They're maybe it's their left arm. It's their left arm. You pull their left arm, they're like this. Then you go bam, and you hit them in the head. Okay, so that's in there, and sometimes maybe think about it, right? Imagine doing that, but the main thing is the spread your wings, and that's what we call it out nowadays in our style. Chengfu still calls it out. Okay, well, let me see you do it. For raise hands. Jeff, can you turn your camera down a little bit? It's there you go. All right. All right. So for raise hands, right hand forward, right foot forward. Okay. White crane spreads its wings.
I got that.
Right hand, no, right hand. Okay, go ahead. There you go. Right. Okay. Turn your hands. Shift back, pull down. Close your arms and step. Shift over, turn. Separate. Okay. I'll do the normal direction with you. All right. So from here, turn a little bit, turn your hands up and down. Shift back, pull down. Close your arms, circle close and step. Shift over, then separate,
Oh,
step out in empty stance.
okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, if you think of the circle your hands make, we practiced this before, this opening and closing. So it's basically getting back to closing your arm. But since they're in front like this, we're going to circle, we're going to go down and that's easy. But this hand has to go, the left hand has to go down and around and up and close back in. Okay, it's got to move a lot faster.
The ball.
Yeah, so just go back to holding the ball. But it has to move a lot faster because they're close together now. And so it moves faster. But we want to show, I think, yeah, I think you have the idea. Even if you do this, it doesn't seem like it's going much faster. But it's going like 3 times as fast as the other hand to make it 3/4 of it. Well, maybe a whole circle. It's making a whole circle. The other hand's making like half a circle. So that's twice as fast, I guess. From here, it's more than that, right? So from here, then this is just to go like this. That's like 1/4 of a circle. And this one has to make 3/4 of the circle. Yeah.
The left hand feels very weak when it's going back.
Uh, okay, well, okay, look at this. I don't know if you were here for this. We practiced this opening and closing your arms. So just this, and then go back the other way. And yeah, so that's all we're doing, right? So from here, it goes back and up and closes in. It's just a simple close your arm. It's not, in the 24 form, I don't know how Chen Manqing does it. In the 24 form, then when they do rollback, they go like this. They go, and go into press like that. They make this big circle. So we don't have that big circle. I mean, here's the biggest. Here is kind of like it, but it's still not. It's still not that. We don't do that anywhere. That's just emphasizing basically pulling down. And so, yeah, that's better. Just not so big. So here, just don't move your elbow too much. Just swing your arm around. So mainly, see, it's just mainly the forearms move around. The elbows don't do too much.
Right.
And here when you lift up, okay, so I'll show you one thing. When you lift up, we still want just to there, okay? You're opening too much. So we need to keep the shoulder down. Yeah, so just lift up and your hand will go past, maybe it's in front of your forehead or a little higher or something. But you can't lift it too high because we need to keep the shoulders down. Yeah, so where can you lift it and keep basically your shoulder from moving? Okay, so we have the body. Remember, we have the body things that we're trying to do. Our style, for our school, emphasizes the 10 essentials. And it used to be that Master Young, when he started a class in the first section, he would go through the 10 essentials. He would have a talk on the 10 essentials. And now we put them on the website and you can just look at it. But still, we try to do those. And so we focus on it. And so that near the beginning, all the students have been exposed to them and they know that that's what we're trying to do. So what we would say is when you do Tai Chi, if you're doing Tai Chi, you're trying to do those 10 things and keep them going. And the body ones are lifting your head, sitting, then hugging a tree. Basically, that's it. So if you have that feeling all the time of hugging, then that's part of it. We want to keep that. So if you go too much like this, then you're not feeling any hugging. You need to do it still keep the body curved in a little bit, a little concave for the hugging feeling. The hugging is your shoulders pull forward, your elbows pull, your shoulders pull forward a little bit. Not enough to hunch yourself, but not in the middle and not especially stuck with your chest stuck out. So that's something I didn't think about when I was first learning this form before I came to this school. And then my teacher had some kind of something. He was Chinese, and so in Chinatown he had something or other. We were the class. We went there. We helped him demonstrate or whatever, and he handed out this thing, and it was basically the 10 essentials, which was in Chinese. And it's like, well, what are these for? And it's like, well, we're supposed to be doing those things. Like, what? I didn't know that. So that's different. Our school first day, we're going to do these 10 essential things. And that's how we call it, 10 essentials. But I think my recollection is a better description or translation was just 10 important points, for improving is basically what it is. So if you focus on those things, then you should. While you're learning, focus. The most important one and hard to do, keep your head up. Lift your head all the time. But this one is one of them. Hugging the tree is shoulders down, elbows down, basically, right? So not like this, like that. So shoulders down, elbows down, sink your chest, and sitting. Lift your head, shoulders down, elbows down, sit, sink your chest. Sink your chest is sink your chest and around your back, but it happens at the same time. So just the chest shape. Yeah, so this is a good practice. The sitting and just hugging the tree, which is the Qigong, it's a good practice. That is the body shape. And when you have a good feeling for that, try to keep that feeling all the time when you understand that sitting and hugging the tree. Okay. Let's see. White crane. I think we did spend some time on knee brushes. You guys were not here. You've come at different times, so I can't remember. I know, pretty sure Mike was here. We did some knee brushes.
Yeah, we were doing repulse monkeys last week where you made
Okay.
4 steps out of it, or 4 processes, first stepping back, then moving.
Yes. All right. Yes. All right. Well, let's review that then.
Okay.
Let me see you do. I'll do it with you one time, then I'll watch you do it. So from fist under elbow, we're like this. So you cannot see my feet. All right, step back and plus monkey. 1, lift up your toe, turn your palm up, circle down your right hand. 2, lift up your right hand and step back. 3, put your heel down, put your hand in front of your shoulder. 4, shift back and pull and strike. Okay, number 2, hand down, toe up, palm up. Then lift, 2, lift your left hand and step back. 3, put your heel down and bend in your elbow. 4, strike and pull and shift back. And point your front toe straight. Then number 3, circle down and palm up. Then lift up your arm and step back. Then bend your elbow, put your heel down and shift back and turn and strike and pull and point your toe forward. Okay. Let me see you do that. So from fist under elbow. Yes, left foot forward. Okay. Step back, repulse monkey. 1. 2. 3. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's right. So here I'll show for this direction. 1, circle and step and strike. 2, circle and step and strike. Then 3, circle, step, strike. Okay, so that's kind of what it is, just circle and step and then strike out. That's the simplest way. I want you to remember that right at the beginning of circling, you turn your palm up, strike, palm up, triple strike, palm up, strike. And then have the feeling that when you strike, it's pulling with the one hand and strike out together. So you show both things going on. Okay.
So there's a distance between the two hands, right? You're not like sliding off.
For our style, this is straight out. And then when you step back, you pull straight to your hip, and the other hand, strikes straight out also. It's just pulling and pushing. Some styles, I know they kind of cross the palms, and it's kind of like, I have these bananas, they're mine, but you can have some, something. They have stories, to go with what you're well, because our style, I will say that our description of is things that are fighting things. What you're doing here is pulling, and this one is striking. There's no reason for them to cross, right? But other styles, they don't want it, if they don't want to talk about fighting, and some people don't want to hear it, then they can't use anything like striking, or it's like with like this, it's like it's not lift up, it's not separating their arms, it's like wave low, they just have a way to describe things that make people do something and have an idea, but it doesn't put any energy into it, right? This is, at least, it's got the push, I'm taking this, you have that kind of thing. But yeah, some people, I taught a long time ago. It's a group of ladies at a church, and when I would, part of teaching the movement is you're supposed to show them 5 things: the footwork, the body, the hands, the eye, where you look, the eyes, and the application. And when I would start talking about the application, which to me was interesting, one lady would turn and walk away. Like, she didn't want to be around for it even, And they fired me. I was kind of hired by them to do it. They fired me because they didn't want to hear it, basically. They wanted to put up with it. Maybe some of them thought it was okay, but some of them, it kind of was offensive. And it was in a church. I told you, they were church ladies.
Wow.
So I was not the only teacher I was one in a line of teachers. Actually, I don't know if that woman was one of our classmates at the time. She took over for me, and she stayed there a really long time. So maybe they just needed a woman. But men think too much about fighting, right? Women, they can talk about other things they might be doing.
Mike, I'm thinking in the first section, grasping the bird's tail. I'm trying to remember if the hand, if you could just review it. I think I'm doing something wrong when I come through.
Oh, okay. Can you show me? It's from push, right? From here, from push with your right foot forward. Right foot forward. All right. Back. Turn. Circle your arms to the other side. Point your toe to the corner.
Oh.
And then bring your hands in and out to this corner. Make a hook. And turn your hand.
Okay.
And then step and lift up your hand. And then put your foot down, open your arm. And then your knee, strike. Okay, that's a single whip. Okay, so I'll show you. Back, hands go flat. turn 45 degrees, curve your arms. 3, turn your whole body, point your toe to the corner, point your hands to the straight direction. Then let them finish making a circle, come in front of you, then out to the corner. And now you're sitting all the way back, make your hook, turn your left hand, lift up your hand and step, then heel ball toe, open your left arm, push.
Wait, so you're bringing the hand up, but you're finishing it out. So is it like a
Right. Right. And we're gonna open it. Okay, yes, that's better. So from here, it's gonna go like this and it's gonna turn at the same time. So it's gonna swing open and it's gonna turn. Swing open and turn together and then strike. So it's making kind of
the palm?
an S, kind of an S shape.
I think that's what I was doing. I think I was doing like a brush knee almost kind of, but not okay. So yeah, it's rolling the wrist to push.
Yeah. So the idea is it is still they're coming to punch you with their right arm. You deflect that and strike them. But we just kind of make it
Yeah.
one curve, and we don't show too much of the deflecting. Grandmaster Yang Zhendua, apparently, he was not my teacher. It was my teacher's grandfather. And he taught a lot of people, obviously. And there was a center in Texas when we had a seminar, and they came, and those people said that according to him, because their teacher was his student, Grandmaster Yang Zhendua's student, that he said you should go from here to there, basically one straight movement, and not to make a curve. And that was very important. So when they saw us, they were correcting us because we were doing this other thing. And so I don't know. The different grandmasters, they have different ideas and different things that they teach. But the important thing is really, I think, is that from here, we're going to step and we're going to lift up our hand. Then it's going to make a path, some kind of path. And by the time your foot is flat, you're ready to strike. Okay, so you're gonna go, for making your bow stance, you're gonna go heel, ball, toe, bend your knee. Okay, heel, ball, toe, bend your knee. By the time your foot is down, which is pretty soon, heel, ball, toe, bend your knee. Heel, ball, toe, bend your knee. Okay, by the time your foot is flat, you're ready to, and there is some extend your arm. Okay, heel, ball, toe. This is my elbow is maybe about 90 degrees bent, okay, from here. Maybe it's open a little bit more, okay, than 90. But it swings open, and then there is extending it with finishing the bow stance. Yeah, that looks okay.
Okay, that helps. Yeah, I thought I was just sweeping it, and I got to roll it out. Okay.
Yeah, it's got to turn at the same time. And it's level. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. It's not from down and then up to do it. It comes up with you stepping, and then it's a level thing. And then try to feel at the very end. Let's see if I can do it. See, that's going to the left. That's going straight forward. So at the end, it's got straight forward in it. Okay. So leave a little bit of room, and that's in your arm. That's in your arm. It stays bent, and at the end, it opens a little. Okay. So leave a little bit of that. If you kept it in this shape and just turn it over, see, that's what that would look like if you didn't leave anything in your arm. But we're doing a whole body exercise. And so the shifting is a lot, and there's a little turning, and there's your arm. So we need all those parts. We don't want to like not have anything left for the arm, and it's just the body. But I will say I don't know, maybe Jeff knows better. Chen Manqing, they don't want to use their arms very much, I think. They're more like, they're more like, they want to move and just focus on using the body and the shifting and not using the arms. And so their knee brush, their knee brush looks like this. I'm not an expert. It doesn't even show using the hand, okay? That their fingers point forward.
Oh,
And they don't lift their palm like is hanging down. They're like this at the end of the knee brush. And they don't straighten their leg all the way. They're like in the middle because they want to also stay totally upright. So there's different styles. And Chen Manqing was one of the things he did Chinese medicine. I guess he might have been a doctor. And so he was more focusing on energy flow, chi flow, okay? Not as a martial art really, even though he did do push hands and teach weapons and things like that. He did those things too. But for the form, he more made it something just for health, I think, and not anyway, if you see videos of him though, and you can look on YouTube and see him, it doesn't look that much different than the way we do it. But over time, it's become more different, I think, from his students. His students put their ideas into it, and then their idea is, not to show anything from your arms, it seems like. to just be using your body and not use your arms at all. And I don't know, it looks a little bit strange to see the current people doing it. But Chen Manqing himself, his videos, they don't look that different than, my understanding is he taught a different form. My understanding is that he got permission to do that before he left China. He was sent out to spread Tai Chi around, and they thought that in the West it would be too difficult to learn the whole long form, and so they just, well, we'll do something short, and then you'll go there, teach a bunch of people, and then go to some different place to teach a bunch of people, and that's what he did. So he went around the world doing that and left a lot of people to carry it on. But they did kind of intend it would be sort of simplified. So I think he ended up in New York though, and so those are the people he taught the most. So, all right, let's see. Well, let's go on then. Well, Gail and Tia are not here. So we could just review if you guys need review anyway, right?
yeah, that's fine with me.
So let me see you do the fist under elbow. No, yeah, okay. Let me see you do, we might as well start the second section. From cross hands to do embrace the tiger. I'll do it with you one time. Embrace the tiger, return to mountain. Shift to the right, turn your body, look at 3 o'clock. Shift back, circle your arms, and now it's like a right knee brush towards the corner, near the corner. Then your right hand comes straight up and out as you sit back, and then turn 45 degrees. Then turn back and press and separate your hands back and forward, push. Okay, so the last 2, 3 things we know how to do already from Embrace the Tiger. All right, so let me see you do it. From cross hands. Okay, embrace the tiger, return to mountain. Shift to the right and turn. Then shift back and circle. Step, brush, push. Then roll back. And press. And push. Okay, Okay, here's the first thing from cross hands. It's not turn and turn on your right heel. It's shift to the right,
Oh,
turn and turn your left heel. Turn on your left heel. Okay. So it's shift to the right, turn to the right, then shift to the left and circle like a knee brush. So the right hand goes up, the left hand goes down, step, like the right knee brush. Brush, push. Okay, do it. Okay, don't forget remember the knee brush has two parts. We'll do it from the left knee brush. The one hand circles down, the other one goes up and down, right? They go up and down together and come back together. Up and down, that's the circles. And then brush, push. So it's easy to forget, and especially the right knee one. We do the lefty one like 4 times, and we do the right knee one time, right? So we do the right knee one from the left knee one, back and turn, circle. The right hand has to go up and push down. See here?
oh.
Again, with your stepping, back turn, circle, and step. Brush, push.
It's hard for me to break that. I learned how to do it at the same time, and you do it first and then a push. So
Yeah, that's
okay.
difficult. I had some lady, and I think she stopped coming before she got very frustrated because she learned to do something like this: circle and then like this. Somehow her hands together up here, and then together again. So their circle was this kind of like, just kind of get your left hand here, right? And then hands together, and then, and so, well, so ours is here, and then brush and push. They're separated. And yeah, so if you feel like, so here's the difference. The feeling is circle and both hands point to the back corner. See?
Oh.
And then your left hand starts first, and you get ready with your right hand, put it in front of your shoulder. And then the right hand comes out.
I like your style. I mean, I think I was learning family style, but I think what makes more sense in your style is I'm blocking, say, a kick first so I can strike. Whereas doing them together in one motion, I may not have the force coming through it later.
Yeah. Right. Well, so basically, it's hard to know, but I will say this. When we do weapons, you have two sides of your body, right? You have the right, and usually it's got the weapon. See? And so we have a rule with the weapons. Going to the left hand goes first. And then the right hand goes. Because this was closer, and when you start turning, it's like actually in front, right? The one in front goes first, and then the other one, right? So usually we make a circle, and then they come together. Open, and then like a close. So the hand form has that same structure for the knee brushes. It's got the left hand it does its thing first, and then the right. And because we have something similar in another movement, and you go like this, and they like separate and strike. the one hand goes first, the front arm basically goes first, and then the back arm strikes. So it's like a 1-2 type of thing. Here is forward and ending up by your knee, forward strike, and the other one is lift up strike. Okay, but if you try to simplify it, you could just say it's like, just one movement. But
That's 4 corners, right?
yeah, that's right. Fair Lady work shuttles to 4 corners. But so you have 2 arms. They're not coming from one point, they're separated, and that makes them able to do different things, kind of like in a multiple stroke engine or something, right? So going around in a circle, here's the time for this arm to do something, and now the other arm, in one turn, this can do something, and then the other one can do something, right? So to put them together and only do it together, makes the first thing, just takes it away. And it doesn't have it can't do anything now. The name of the movement for the knee brush is knee brush, and that's basically this, like if you have dust on your knee, or some, I don't know what, from a fire, some charcoals or whatever, and that's the name of it. And other styles do it like that. They just kind of make a circle. They just kind of don't think about it. They don't use it for anything. If all it doesn't come up and go down, then you're not even doing it, right? You're only focusing on the main hand. There is a main hand. The striking hand is the main hand. So they just kind of go like this, boom, and they don't think about this at all. The other hand, but that's the name of it. So they named it for that, the knee brush. And so we use it for something. Basically, it's a kind of a pulling, and yeah, you could say blocking their kick, but it's more like they're fighting you, and then their hand, maybe they come in to punch here, and you go and you move that out of the way. So now they can't use it to block. You got to hit them. They're just going to go and cover themselves. So you move it out of the way, and now you can hit them in the chest, basically, or in the stomach or whatever. So yeah, move it, bam. They're not totally separated, right? So this one is halfway making its circle, and then the other one comes out. They're just out of phase a little bit. So yes, our knee brush goes forward and then down. With the striking, then it's going away, and it just comes out first, and then the other one comes out. I don't know how to box, or fight at all, really. But I know that if I know something, is that this hand doesn't do much. That front hand is like jabbing to sort of keep them busy. And then when there's something you think you got it, bam, then the backhand comes out. So it's basically still the same. This is doing something, and maybe it's all this does. We do it later in punching down, 2 things: punch to the groin and punch to the knee. And basically, so when you go like this, they're going to go, ugh, right? You swing your arm there, maybe it's not going to do anything to them, but if they're there, they're going to try to get away from it. So they go back like this, then their leg is straight, right? Then you go, bam, hit them in the knee. Now you can hurt their knee. You can't hurt their knee when it's bent like this, it's very strong. But you make them go back and then hit it and hard, and make it go the wrong way, right? Then it'll hurt at least, right? Or you go forward and punch them in the groin. So brush, punch, right? So brush, punch down. So we have brush and punch forward, or actually, with our open hand. The punches are with your fist. But so if you don't have the knee brush type of thing going on, when you have that, then they don't know what you're going to do. You could do different things. If you only do this before you punch, it's always just fake, then they will just ignore it, So this could be doing something anyway. It's just an extra thing that our style has. We have a few things. I can't think of them all. One is the knee brush coming out. One is that we don't come up by our ear.
Yeah.
For the striking. So almost all the other styles do it that way. For some reason, we don't do that. We circle up and have our palm, we seat our palm early, but basically we just have a different circle and strike than all the other styles. I don't know why. And there's another thing, I think it's like 3 things that are different about the young family style, which comes before most of the other styles. There's Chan, we say Chan, then Yang, and then Wu and Sun. So anyway, okay. So that's let me see you do it again. Too much talking. Embrace the tiger. All right. Shift right, turn right, shift back and circle your arms. Remember your right hand has to come up and push down, step up and down. Don't leave it out. Brush, push. Then the roll back. Roll back. Okay, so here's the roll back part. After you do the knee brush, you're like this. The right hand is going to go up and out. It has this circle, okay? It makes a circle. So from your knee, it comes up and out, and then to the side. Okay? Not just swing it up. Bring it in and out. And we use that motion later too in another movement. So go ahead and try it. Okay. All right, so after the knee brush, you're like this. Then your right hand comes up, your left hand turns the palm up. Then you sit back and you end up in the rollback shape, the same shape that you get to from here, right? Roll back. So we're going to get to that shape here and just do 45 instead of 90 degrees. 45 degrees and then turn back, press. Yes, for our rollback from grasping the bird's tail, from ward off right, we turn and our hands stay up and we turn back and they basically move together. See this shape. Your fingers point at your forearm, not too open. So from here, I'll show it here. You see they're a fist distance apart. Fingers point at your forearm. You turn, and now I guess it is a little bit more, but the fingers point at your forearm, and then you shift back and turn, and you keep that distance. And the idea of it is that you have somebody by their wrist and near their elbow. So you want this distance, you want your left hand to be sort of near, by your elbow. So the two distances are the same. And then you keep that. So it's getting someone, one way to think of it is that you get them, this one especially, you turn your hand, that makes their elbow go up like this. Then you turn it, you reach out and you touch their elbow with your wrist. And then you push them to the side and down, okay? Yeah, so we want to keep the hands together, basically in this shape together. That shows the application, okay? So we don't want the left, so like in some other styles, especially the 24, they make kind of like the white crane thing. They separate them, right? And then they come back and they go down a lot and then they come back up. Ours just goes down a little bit. It's mainly to the side, okay? But the left hand stays forward. The left hand stays in front of you. And then when you turn back, you just have to turn it over and they come back together, okay? Instead of it making its own long path and then looping and coming back, So let me show you again. When you do the roll back, this is from grasping the bird's tail. You turn and come out, and then you turn to the left corner, and your arms stay close together. Then you see where it is. You turn back, turn it over, forward. Okay. So the left arm, at this point, doesn't move at all hardly. Right? It turns over. It's already in the right place. It comes in a little bit because we do press, we want it to go back out. Right? So I want you to be careful and don't have it already out here, and just again with your legs. So when we bring it in, we'll bring it in closer and then push out. And our style, I will say for completeness, we bring it in and then we're touch the middle of your forearm. That's in your center line now. We push straight forward. Some other styles, they go to the side and then they come back and turn, okay, and put some body turning in it, okay. We take out all the turning here and go straight forward, okay. That's our style. Okay. I guess we could try some fist under elbow. We'll just review everything we've done in second section. So after pushing to the corner, fist under elbow, we do the transition the same as the single whip transition. Back, turn, circle to the corner now, toe straight. Then here, okay, once your hands are in front of you, now we're gonna push out instead of making a hook. Push out to the side. You don't lift your arm up. Now you keep it level, your left arm, and you step to the corner. Then you reach for the corner, pick up your right heel, your back heel. You turn your hand over and step over the line, the straight line to the straight direction. Then you shift to the right foot. Your right foot points at the corner. Bring your left hand to your hip. Then you turn it at your hip. Keep the fingers pointed forward. Make a fist with your right hand. Turn it, make a fist. And step out with your heel for empty stance. Then lift up and punch. At the end, both hands are in your center line. Okay, and look, there's some space here. Okay, it's like hugging still. It's like hugging sort of like this. Here's hugging, a big hugging, and here's like a more close hugging, okay? And then you make a fist with the lower hand and you lift up your fingers, okay, for the top hand. Okay, so that's like this kind of hugging.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Good, okay. So this is, I don't remember saying this before. The energy for this one, once you get to this point, like this, is basically just put your leg energy is just push your foot down, okay? Push your heel into the ground. We can't move very much, okay? So like that. But you can feel when you stop yourself, you start to move and then stop yourself, that your upper body wants to go, keep going. That's the time, boom, okay? So there's punch, and then there's finish, there's lifting up. Okay, so that's with pushing weight. There's a little stopping of your energy, that little whippiness actually from your lower body that you can still put into your upper body. And that's how you can add to it, but there isn't a lot. So there isn't going into an empty, there isn't going forward into a bow stance with a lot, you can use your back leg, right? So it only just has, so it has, this is just sort of lifting up. It has this. So there has to be using your arm in it, okay?
So how's the lineup? Is your hand in front of your nose and your fist directly under your elbow or?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. So it's called fist under elbow, and that makes people, some people want to do it like this, okay? Our style is like this. Basically, your hand, this part of your hand is shoulder height, it's back up to shoulder height. This is lifting. It's lifting somebody's, they're like this, and you're lifting them up this way, okay, to get in that shape. So you're lifting, you got their wrist and you're lifting it. We show the fingers point forward. Here, try to see it in the camera. Your fingers point up. That shows using your hand. Okay, so we're using our hand and lifting up, and then you're punching. The two hands are in the center. The elbows are still the hugging shape, right? So lift your palm, make your palm point to the side. Okay, and then this hand is like solar plexus, I guess, level, and it points also, can you see? It's pointing to hit this direction. So some people are like this, you know, like this, and their idea is that they're doing this, you know, like a kind of an in feeling. It is not, it's forward, okay? Kind of diagonally forward. From here, diagonally forward, hit them in the ribs. Okay. And it's not under your elbow. Here's the name. Punch under elbow. It's their elbow. You lift them up, their elbow's like this. Then you punch under their elbow, okay? Yeah, under your own elbow is just awkward.
Right.
Okay, so. And I can't show you very easily, but if you have another person, you get their wrist and then you grab it and you pull their arm down. It's their left arm. And so they're like this. If you just try to lift their hand up, their elbow would stay down. So you just don't grab their wrist and then lift it or try to move it, because they will still say that you move it. They can still go, okay? And they're going to want to cover their ribs. So you need to go and pull it down and then twist it and then lift their elbow. And now they're like this, right? Now you've locked them up. So you lock up their elbow, their whole left side, really, when you do that. They're like, ugh. And they, you know, they're stuck there for a second. So then you can hit them. So it's not just get their elbow out of the way, right? Like the knee brush is kind of open their arm, strike them. It is sort of immobilizing them at that point when you could hit them. Okay, but things don't last, right? So you've got to have the timing. Lift them and strike them at the same time, basically. What was that noise? Oh, I guess that was him. Phone call, maybe.
Sorry about that.
No, okay, that's fine. Okay, well, that's pretty good. That used up our time anyway. So, okay, so some review. I didn't get to watch you. Oh, if you want to do the, yeah, you show me the fist under elbow, then I'll watch you do it for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a good point to do it, is you push to the side and you're sort of in this shape. And then the fist under elbow is you step to the corner.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. So here's what I would say about that. So look at my right hand. I step to the corner. The left hand is the one that's connecting, grabbing, pulling down, and going to lift up. But my right hand is just sticking out to the side. When I turn my left hand for lifting, I'm going to make my fist. Okay. My elbow, look, my arms was like this to start with, elbow down. But now it's come around, my elbow's kind of back now. When I turn it, look, it's kind of, my elbow's back. So I step, and then I can lift up and punch and show that. It isn't really from your body turning and striking, because then you can't lift. you can't turn and strike and lift them up, right? So your body kind of doesn't participate very much, except to transmit the little bit of whippiness.
Yeah. Thanks. I never thought of it as a move in itself before. I was just thought it was like a transition. So this is really great, you know.
Okay, all right, great.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate your instruction. And I think back to like different teachers I've had and like kind of helps me put it together. I really like this kind of it's a kind of like a square, straightforward kind of approach, you know.
Yeah,
And it feels really good on like the posture.
good.
Yeah.
All right, great.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike.
All right, thank you. Thanks for coming.